Now, one of Martin Luther King's most memorable quotes is, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." But what lesson do these words by the American civil rights icon hold for the man charged with law enforcement and whose attitude sets the tone for those who serve under him?
It's a script that almost writes itself on account of the sense of déjà vu it evokes. Another Inspector General of Police summoned by the courts to explain the disappearance of Kenyan citizens, and yet another summons not honored. Same script, different cast. Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja's failure to appear in court on Friday, in spite of numerous court summons to shed light on the missing Mlolongo 3, calls to mind the contempt of court of which the interim police chief who came before him, Gilbert Masengeli, was convicted. Only then it was the Kitengela 3 who were missing, activist Bob Njagi and the Longton brothers. An all-powerful Inspector General of Police too busy with pressing matters of national security to attend court, despite 7 extensions by the court. A mere 4 months later, and the serving Inspector General of Police, Kanja, appears to be following a similar script. 2 courts having demanded his presence in cases involving 2 sets of missing persons. Friday's case had to do with Justus Mutumwa, Martin Mwao and Karani Mwema, friends who went missing from Lolongo a month ago. In this case, Kanja and his subordinate, DCI Mohammed Amin, sought to explain away their failure to honor the court summons on a technicality.
If this quality of service is allowed, what will happen next is that Learned Counsel will wait for the Inspector General's car to drive by, and he will fling pleadings at it and come to court and ask, "But how else did you expect me to get to the Inspector General?"
The widespread press coverage this story has received notwithstanding. In Masengeli's case, the court was not satisfied and he was sentenced to 6 months in jail. Less than a week later, he had all the time to attend court as he was no longer acting as Inspector General of Police.
I would like to apologize to the Lordship and the judiciary for the events that have transpired.
Masengeli isn't the only police chief in recent history who's been served a dose of reality by the courts once the political cover they enjoyed by virtue of their offices was stripped away. The High Court days ago ordered former Inspector General of Police Japhet Koome to personally bear the cost of a suit that found the Inspector General of Police personally liable for the acts or omissions of officers under his command in issuing unconstitutional orders to use unlawful force to disperse peaceable and unarmed strikes, assemblies, protests and pickets, and abdicating effective control of police officers under his command by failing to investigate and discipline officers who violate the Constitution by using unlawful force to disperse peaceable and unarmed strikes, assemblies, protests and pickets. The suit was brought on behalf of the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union, whose Secretary General Davji Atela was injured by police officers while picketing outside Afya House in February of last year. The question is, now that Kanja is in charge, what will he take as the moral of Koome's and Masengeli's stories? Olive Burrows, Citizen TV.